1, 2, 1, 2. Yep, you can hear it.
right, guys, we're going to get started. What? Good, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Here you go, all set.
All right, good evening, everybody. I am going to call our Board of Selectmen meeting for Tuesday, October 21st to order. It's now 5:02 p.m., and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we've got a few announcements. This meeting is being recorded by the local scene. Anyone intending to make an audio or video recording of this meeting should notify the chair at this time. Financial assistance applications are available on the town's website or by calling the Selectmen's office. For anyone interested in volunteering, there are several vacancies on various committees and boards. To see a complete list of the openings, please visit our website at kingstonma.gov. But I just wanted to call out a few committees that do have vacancies. We have the Capital Planning Committee. Finance Committee has a few openings. Our Open Space Committee, the Affordable Housing Trust, the Agricultural Commission, Community Preservation Committee, Council on Aging Advisory Board, Cultural Council, Business Community Partnerships Committee, Housing Authority, Waterfront Committee, Rent Control Board, and the Green Energy Committee. And there may be more.
Although I think Green Energy we did not appoint, and we talked about removing it from the bylaws, but that kind of died at the wayside. So I think that is maybe totally vacant at this point.
Okay, all right, thank you. But if anybody has questions about any of these boards or committees, please reach out to one of us on the Board of Selectmen. If you have any questions at all, just reach out. Also, please check our website for any additional events or notices. Again, it's kingstonma.gov. And that brings us to open forum. Is there anybody here? Go ahead, Will.
Do we need to do a roll call?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Oh, I'll hold up then.
Yeah, thank you. We need to do a roll call vote because Dawn is remote. So Eric, aye.
Kim, I.
Missy, aye.
Carl Pike, aye.
Don, aye.
All right. Thanks, Dawn. And Will, you're up.
Good evening, members of the Board of Selectmen. I'd like to bring attention to an ongoing safety concern at the intersection of Pembroke Street, Lake Street, and Station Street. On Friday, October 17th, there was a serious motor vehicle accident involving 7 patients with 4 transported for treatment. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time. There have been other car accidents at this location, and a few years ago, a student was struck in the same area. We've also had Silver Lake had reoccurring issues with the pedestrian crossing lights in front of the school. Sometimes they stay on continuously, and other times they fail to activate at all. Even though these malfunctions don't happen every day, they still create an unsafe situation for students and pedestrians, also drivers. Going back as far as train travel, there was even a crash involving an empty Silver Lake school bus in this same area. These repeated incidents show that this intersection has been a problem for quite some time. I respectfully ask the board to consider safety improvements, whether that be a crossing guard, updated traffic signals, or other appropriate measures to help prevent future accidents. Thank you for your time and for your continued efforts to keep our community safe.
Will, can you just repeat which intersection that was?
Sure. 1 second, I have to just sign back in.
So Lake Street. Was it Lake Street? Did you say?
I think it's Pembroke Lake and Station, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Pembroke
All right.
Lake and Station Street.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure all our students, all the Silver Lake students, including myself when going to get ice cream, is safe. And
Right.
I didn't want to take the chance of anybody else getting hurt at that street.
So I just want to, our highway superintendent is not here, but I just wanted to make a couple comments. And Chief, if I'm forgetting something, if you wouldn't mind speaking up, there have been some safety improvements made there. That intersection was also identified in our safety report for potentially even making a roundabout there at some point, but that's a many years long process and waiting for state and federal funding. There have been signs that were put up and better painting of the lanes on Lake Street and Station Street, and also signs as you're approaching on 27 or Pembroke Street from both directions. Additionally, it was made there have been school zone signs and flashing lights that were put up on Pembroke Street, both further up, coming both directions. So those lights are flashing during certain times during the day. So there's a lot of new signage, new painting. And again, even the stop signs themselves on Lake Street and Station are flashing. Because we've had people who blew right through those stop signs and had really bad accidents and crashing into the ice cream shop and restaurant there. It's happened quite a bit. So it's definitely something that the town has put some investments in. But I'll also let the highway superintendent know about the crosswalk. You said that sometimes that light's not flashing.
It stays on either all school day, Rich.
Yeah.
And it also possibly, and then most of the time stays on.
Yeah.
And whenever we press a button, one side down by the Formanino's now Selectmen and Happy Chance don't even come on when cause the lights to come on. So one of the buttons are faulty now.
Okay.
And can you guys take a look, maybe crossing guard or maybe a stop like a big, like one of those traffic lights that we see in other parts of town as other traffic lights, like up by
Yeah, go
Cumbies.
ahead.
So we can't just put in a traffic light. That actually is much more complicated than you would think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the rotary is the best, safest solution. The problem is those things take time and money. So what we're trying to do is as many temporary, short-term, cost-effective solutions that we can to make that area as safe as possible. We did conduct a safety study of the whole town, prioritizing all of the projects across town, Main Street being on the list,
Okay.
as well as Station Lake and Pembroke. So it's in that. The other thing is the reporting a concern. There is a link on the homepage to report a concern that goes right to the highway department.
Okay,
So if there's a light on the crosswalk or off or whatever, you can report that.
Okay, that sometimes, I believe that sometimes do not work.
The report a concern?
Yeah,
Okay,
was
you should
that-
reach out to the highway department and let them know then.
Was that fixed?
I haven't
don't
heard.
know. I haven't heard that it wasn't working.
I heard a rumor that it might not be working, but
Oh.
it might have been false.
Yeah, you could try doing that, and if not, reach out directly, but we'll also convey the message.
Okay, also, maybe you guys can maybe talk with the school department about getting a crossing guard for that to help kids cross just for safety reasons.
Yeah, that would have to go through, I would assume, through the regional school committee.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think that might be helpful to keep all our kids safe as well.
yeah. All right, thanks, Will.
You're welcome, thank you.
And I also wanted to point out, going back to the announcements for just 1 second, I forgot to mention the most important announcement of all, that a week from tonight at 7 p.m., we have our fall town meeting. So that's Tuesday, October 28th at 7 p.m. at the intermediate school.
I'll be there. You want to like?
All right, so we do not have the dangerous dog hearing at 5 p.m. That's been canceled. So we'll move on to the approval of a one-day liquor license for Stellwagen Beer. Michael Snowdale from Stellwagen Beer submitted a request for a one-day liquor license for the Breakers Coaches charity game at the Bog on November 1st from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. The application's been reviewed and signed by the police and fire chief, and all documentation's been received. Any questions or a motion?
I move the Board of Selectmen approve the request from the Stellwagen Beer Company for a charity event at the Bog, 188 Summer Street, Kingston, on November 1st, 2025, from 4 to 10 p.m.
Second.
All right, and we'll do a roll call. All those in favor, Eric, aye.
Kim, I.
Missy, I.
Cal Pike, aye.
Don, I.
All right, the next item is a public hearing that we need to push off until 6. It's listed for 6 PM, so we'll come back to that. We're going to go on to additional items. So we have a request for a half-year funded sergeant to be funded within the current fiscal year 26 budget. Chief, do you want to address that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, honorable members. So last week's, probably about a month and a half ago, I provided the board an update with the Family Services Unit, and there was a whole list of things that I provided, timetables beginning in October and resulting in everything coming together in the the end of November. That was an unrealistic timetable. It's been revised for everything to come together. Realistically, we're looking at major steps for the development of this Family Services Unit, which would benefit and be housed in Kingston and then benefit Plimpton and Halifax for family services. And I've talked publicly about it, so I think everybody gets the feel for what it is. So the timetable, more realistically, is we've been working with a group who has done a lot of work with the Framingham Police Department. They are licensed mental health clinicians. They're a free facilitation service for police agencies trying to start up a clinician program or a family services unit, whatever. And what they do is they basically get us oriented, and again, this is a free service that we're getting as a facilitator group that's funded by the Department of Mental Health. There's 2 of them. They've worked in police agencies as clinicians, and now they do private sector work for private agencies. And what they do is they provide integration training to help us get a job description, help us find the right candidate. They'll come in and they'll do all this stuff funded fully by DMH. After we select a candidate and implement, what they'll do is they'll do integration training, having the patrol staff working with whichever we select, either a licensed mental health clinician or a certified licensed social worker. So that's what we've been doing up until as recently as last week. The next steps on the timetable would involve going before the Capital Planning Committee for approval of an office space in the neighborhood of $60,000 or under, approval of the use of opiate funds by the board to fund the office space, which we will need. In my previous request from last week, I had on the original timetable acceptance of a warrant article by STM to fund a sergeant's position, and the board decided to not go that route. So we do actually have funding within the current budget, and I'm requesting the board authorize the promotion of a sergeant effective January 1, 2026, who would be basically in charge of the Family Services Unit, among other collateral duties, but in the beginning. But mainly it's to have a supervisor in charge of the Family Services Unit as we begin the implementation process. Trying to think of anything else that I might have left out, but so I received a notice today of a retirement that would take place in the month of December, and even barring that, there's still existing funding within this current fiscal year that would allow us to fund a half a year sergeant from January 1 to June 30th.
So a couple questions. So you had said before, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it Plimpton and Halifax that we might be sharing this position, the unit with? Was that right?
Yeah, if we're talking about shared funding, anything that we would try to get from them would probably come from opiate settlement funds. One is under the Selectmen, I believe, and the other is under, I think Plimpton is under the public health agent. So there'd be steps to go through.
Right.
I do plan on soliciting them for those funds if there's any way they can help out whatsoever. I mean, everybody knows their current fiscal situation over there. They're pretty strapped, but I've already had a preliminary discussion with both of the chiefs, asking them at some point that we're going to need some help from them.
Would any of those funds be able to be used for, because arguably if we move forward with this, then the sergeant would be a permanent position, but then we'd still have the patrol position. So this is in effect, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it's creating a new position, that would then be above this year's baseline for next year?
So if we use, what I wanted to do is use the funding and forego one of the open patrolman vacancies
Yep.
to fund that half a year, and there would be enough money in that, in the budget for that.
But then would we be hiring another patrolman for next year? Or you're saying you'd be using this position's funds towards the sergeant for the following year?
Sure, that's a fair question. I mean, I would be looking to reallocate the money for that patrolman's position that we would be foregoing in lieu of the sergeant's next fiscal year, and that would be up to town meeting. I don't want to lose that position. You know, we've made a lot of steps forward in terms of the growth of the department. So this gets us by January 1 to June 30th, and I would be looking to have that reallocated or funding replaced for that.
So, would any funding coming from Halifax, would they be contributing money towards that sergeant, or would this just be office and other expenses, do you think?
I actually don't have, I mean, both of them seem kind of like it's going to be hard to get money from their opiate settlement funds, but it's not going to put me off of asking for those funds. It would probably be to supplement purchasing things rather than actually going towards the sergeant's position. But if that's what the board wants me to do when it comes time to have those conversations, to use opiate settlement funds towards the supervisor's position, I've actually inquired of whether or not that's an appropriate use. And the person that I spoke to said that it wouldn't be considered supplanting if it's to support a family services unit. That's a new position. So I can ask him.
Any other questions? Anybody?
My comment is that this is the type of thing that I certainly believe it's up to the chief to spend his money in his budget the way he sees fit. And if he believes a sergeant is more important right now than a patrolman, I go along with that, but with the caveat that that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to support the request for a patrolman replacement in next year's budget.
I agree. I echo those thoughts.
Missy, anything? Dawn, do you have any comments or questions?
No.
Okay, so, the only other thing, the other question I have is about Finance Committee. Did we talk to Finance Committee about this? I didn't. Did you talk to Finance Committee at all about changing this? I mean,
No.
I think we probably don't have enough of a formal process, because this isn't really asking for something at town meeting, but changes within your budget. So, I mean, we have one member of the Finance Committee here, but not the entire Finance Committee. So I don't know whether, changes like this within the budget should have to go through Finance Committee or not.
I didn't think so, but he was the chair for a
Again,
while.
I personally don't think this needs to go before the Finance Committee. Once a year, the Finance Committee gets an opportunity to talk about the, in going through the budget, to talk about the head count, to talk about the number of lieutenants and sergeants and patrolmen. But on an ongoing basis, I kind of feel, again, with what I just said, that the department head has the right to spend those total dollars pretty much how they see fit.
Okay, so any other comments, questions? Does somebody want to make a motion?
I move the Board of Selectmen authorize the police chief to promote one additional full-time police sergeant effective January 1st, 2026. Is that right?
Second.
That sounds strange,
Why?
the wording, because we're,
Move the Board of
Authorized to
Select-
promote one additional? Is that the issue? It's,
Well, no, that's right, because
Yeah.
you're promoting a patrolman.
that wasn't a position before.
and it's not going to be effective until January 1?
Correct.
Okay, then I'm okay with it.
All right, do I have a second?
Yeah, Dawn seconded it.
Oh, you did, okay, I'm sorry. All right, this needs to be roll call. All those in favor, Eric, aye.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, aye.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna vote no, only because I can't support creating new positions right now. I was on the fence.
Missy abstain.
Okay, so 3 to 1 to 1.
So it passes.
So it passes, but I think what's up in the air is whether we would support adding another patrolman back, but we'll deal
Later.
with that in the spring, right?
That's gonna be part of the budget discussions, I would imagine.
Right. All right,
So I would normally just say my normal thanks for your support, but on this one here, I can't just say thanks. I just want to let you know that, you know, obviously you brought me here as an agent of change. And with that being said, this whole entire family unit will have a meaningful impact on not just Kingston, but 3 communities if all goes as planned. So tonight's vote is something that will have a meaningful impact. So we greatly appreciate your support on this. Thank you very much.
And I also will say that I commend you for talking about trying to get some financial support from Plimpton and Halifax, but I also recognize your reluctance to commit to what you're actually gonna get. And I think Eric and I especially have been involved with Plimpton and Halifax enough to know that money does not come easily, whether it be a resource officer at the schools or something else that we're sharing, so that anything that we get from Halifax and Plimpton, I would look at as somewhat of a bonus.
So I'm going to commit to you, young man, that if there's anything to be gotten from those 2 communities, I'm going to go get it.
Thank you.
I believe him.
I do too. And thank you for that.
Thank you, Chief. All right, next up, we have declare streets, trees, and parks vehicle 1998 Ford L8501 dump truck as surplus. So we have, the truck is being replaced in November. It's already approved at the 2024 Springtown meeting. Do I have a motion?
I move the Board of Selectmen declare the 1998 Ford L8501 dump truck as surplus equipment and authorize the interim streets and park superintendent to send this to auction.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, Eric, aye.
Kim, aye.
Missy, aye.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, aye.
That's it, okay. All right, that passed. All right, next item is approval of a Razor Clam license. I am not going to pronounce this right. Askey? Assy. Okay. So we have Razor Clam licenses that were approved at the beginning of the year with 9 licenses. Ben Lansing has not picked up his license to date. So on September 30th, Bo Assy submitted a Razor Clam application to Shellfish Constable. He's requesting that Ben Lansing be moved off of the Razor Clam license and replaced with Bo Assy. Dan, anything to add to that?
No, not really. I just had a little prepared statement here. It just said, last April, at my recommendation, the board voted for and approved limiting the number of razor clams.
Uh-oh,
Oh.
microphone's not on.
Yeah, microphone needs
Green, yeah.
to be green.
Did it turn on? Give it a try.
Last April, at my recommendation, the board voted for and approved limiting the number of razor clam license holders to a maximum number of 9. This action was a result of the fact that 2 license holders opted not to renew their licenses for the 2024-25 season, which runs from July 1st to June 30th, coupled with the fact that we did not have a waiting list. This current season, another licensee, Ben Lansing, did not renew, which brought the count down to only 8, where it is now stands. Repeated attempts by me by telephone and email to Mr. Lansing have gone unanswered. Recently, Mr. Bo Assy, a Kingston resident, reached out to me expressing his desire to become a commercial razor clam license holder, and at this time, I would ask for the board's approval by voting to accept Mr. Assy as the town's 9th approved license and to remove Mr. Lansing's name from a current list of enrollment.
Safe to assume he didn't pay the $300 for this year?
I'm sorry to hear.
It's safe to assume that Ben did not pay the $300
He did
for
not,
this year?
no.
Okay.
All right.
Did we give him formal notice besides the attempted phone call that we're taking the license away?
Well, we're not really taking his license away. If he doesn't renew,
He doesn't have
it goes away. So I have a couple of emails, in fact, I'll give them to you if you want, that I had sent out to him.
Okay, no, that's fine, as long as you made an attempt
Oh, yeah, I've
like
made
that.
several attempts. I left
comfortable with that.
voicemails, I've sent a couple emails, they've all gone unanswered, so.
Okay,
We don't have a waiting list currently, but this guy came out of the blue. I don't know where he came from. I've never met him, but I'm all for it.
Would anybody like to make a motion?
I move the Board of Selectmen approve the request of Bo, what did we say?
Assey.
For the Razor Clam license for the term of October 22nd, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, with a fee of $300.
second,
All those in favor, Eric, I.
Kim, I.
Missy, I.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, I.
All right.
Very
Thanks,
good.
Dan.
Thank you very much. So he can come to your office tomorrow?
All right, the next item is an appointment of less than part-time library technician for Grace Madaliano. Due to a resignation, the position of library technician is vacant. After the recruitment process, the library director, Donald Colon, is requesting the hiring of Grace Madaliano to the position. Would someone like to make a motion?
I move to appoint Grace Maliliano to the position of library technician, a less than part-time, I think that maybe should be a less than full-time, grade 2, step 1, non-exempt position within KTEU clerical with the Kingston Public Library, with an anticipated start date of October 22nd, 2025, contingent with the terms in the offer letter.
Second.
All those in favor, Eric, I.
Kim, I.
Missy, I.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, I.
Just so you know, the offer letter does state less than part-time because it's less than part-time,
Okay,
just so you know.
So less than
That is the
part-time.
correct term that's used by HR.
okay.
Interesting.
All right, next item is acceptance of donation, Council on Aging. Council on Aging has received the following donation, is asked the board to accept. It's a $25 donation from Elizabeth Smart. Would someone like to make a motion?
I move the Board of Selectmen accept the donation of $25 to the Kingston Council on Aging from Elizabeth Smart.
Second,
All those in favor, Eric, I.
Kim, I.
Missy, I.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, I.
All right, the next item we have is an appointment to Cultural Council. We have Paula Fay, who's looking to be appointed to the Cultural Council. And I think there was a letter in our packet here from her and her sister, although it's only her that's asking for the appointment. Yeah, so there was a recent meeting of the Massachusetts Cultural Council. Somebody who's the regional program officer approached Paula and indicated that Kingston was in need of assistance with processing the FY26 Local Cultural Council program.
Do we know what that means?
Oh, I
Okay.
don't understand it. There wasn't a lot of information on our website about what our cultural council does.
Right.
George, do you have any insight into what a cultural council does?
I've seen them in a number of towns. Usually
Sure.
they get like, someplace between $4,000 or $5,000
Yeah.
grant from the state of Massachusetts. And it's usually done for art-related, items, like they might have an art show.
Oh,
Oh,
your
sorry,
thing.
sorry
I got
about that. Yeah, you usually get a grant from the state of Massachusetts.
Yep.
It's always been around $4,000 or $5,000. And then it's usually used for art-related, like functions. So they might have an art show someplace, or they might put on a painting class for the local residents. And I'm not sure whether the way it was worded, what they're trying to say is they need somebody to kind of, usher it through to, take care of the program.
Right.
Or whatever, and try to come out with something to that effect. So it's that's probably what you're looking at.
I guess my question for the board would be, we have one member. Shouldn't we be recruiting people in Kingston? I guess it's our responsibility to try to recruit people in Kingston. but should we be in touch with Corinna, who sits on the board right now?
So
Is she not a resident either?
she is a resident.
Okay.
Pretty much in May,
Mm-hmm.
multiple people said they did not want to be reappointed, and then one person left mid-year. We have been recruiting. The state has
Okay.
helped with recruiting.
Oh, wow.
One of the individuals just dropped all the information off in our office. So I believe the town will receive the funding, but if we don't have the members to process, we will lose the funding. And I reached out to the state last week, and I think they received already 20 applications.
Okay.
So we're in the midst of the application process.
So, and based on the letter, she's saying we have $8,900 allocated.
And how many people do we need to be able to do what we need to do?
I think 5.
Okay.
We have 7, well, there's one person and then 6 vacancies.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that looks like a total of 7.
A little chuckle from the back of the room, the other 7 committee member back there. Okay, all right, well, I mean, I guess we have to take help where we can find it, and if we have a smattering of applications to join the cultural council, I would assume that we would prefer to appoint people in our community, but if we,
The funding can also be awarded to people not in the town of Kingston as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. So what do you want to do?
So does that mean this person who's not from Kingston is going to be awarding funds from Kingston back to that person's community?
Could be, yes.
But do people
Who
apply?
wants to serve on the cultural council? No, just kidding. Put your hand up.
You-
Okay, all
as-
right, interesting.
As she mentioned, as Patricia mentioned, a lot of times that they'll even use the funds to hire somebody to come in from the outside. Like, I don't know, somebody like an art teacher or something, to come in, or somebody that does a play, or, like an artist or something like that will come in.
That's what I'm wondering, is could this funding be used for like a rec department or the
Library
library?
program, sure.
But we need.
It's used in the library.
It is.
Yeah.
But you
we
need
need to funnel it through
humans.
the cultural council.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay,
It's like people who come in and do things like
Yeah.
within the community.
okay.
It just doesn't have to be.
Why don't we all
In Kingston.
volunteer?
That's what I'm wondering.
Just get the money allocated and then we'll quit.
Okay.
I mean, where do we send letters of interest for this appointment?
To Mrs. Tucker.
Ourselves?
Yeah, so
Mrs. Tucker.
I would suggest that we,
Table this?
no, I was
Vote
gonna
it.
say even a point, because if we need
Just do
5
it.
people, just get this person on, but we need to get some, I would like to have more people from our town on it.
Yep.
Paula clearly has experience with this, but I would just like to keep the money in our town if at all possible. That's what I'm trying to
Right.
avoid.
Yeah.
So does someone want to make a
And I
motion?
guess as a finance guy, it kind of, and I know we don't like turning down funds, but I find it a little troubling that we're, trying to find a way to process $9,000 when maybe the $9,000 should be just left out there, or it should be going to a town that really wants to do more cultural things. That being said, it's just my humble opinion.
Does anybody want to make a motion?
I will. I move the Board of Selectmen appoint Paula Fay to the Cultural Council effective immediately through June 30th of 2027.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Eric, aye.
Missy, I.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Donna.
Kim's a no.
No, thank you.
Okay, so 4-1.
And there's seven.
There's 7 seats.
Yeah, I was just reading this more on
Yeah.
the,
All right, this next one, so I do have something I want to talk about. So, update on the status of establishing a Department of Public Works. So we've talked about this before. Our current interim has been in place for almost a year. So that's a long time to be an interim. And we're clearly not moving forward with the DPW. I mentioned this back in September during a meeting, that I want to go after a memorandum of agreement or understanding or whatever between police department, fire department, highway department, water department, and sewer department, so that, and I discussed this at length in our meeting, and that's the route I think we need to go, because there's not gonna be a lot of appetite for creating a new position. I mean, people have brought up objections that we still need a superintendent for the highway department, even if we have a director of public works. It's too much for one person to have to handle both. You know, there's engineering, you know, and I think we all understand that even if we created this director of DPW, that eventually we're gonna need some sort of a highway superintendent, even if it's just a manager, not a superintendent, that it is gonna cost more money. And right now is probably not the time to be chasing that down. I don't see us getting anywhere really for another year with the DPW anyways, especially with the break in a town administrator. So I'd love to get more ideas from whoever we bring in as a new town administrator. In the meantime, I mean, what we could do is we could put this long-term. I don't want to keep stringing out our current interim, Sean, who's done a phenomenal job. I think it might make sense for us to, you know, kind of permanently table this and move forward with the job posting. Because what would have to happen is HR would put the job posting out for whatever it is, 2 weeks to get applicants. And if our current interim, you know, applied, if he was interested in becoming the permanent superintendent, then we can then review that and any other applicants and kind of move forward. But I feel like this department's been in limbo for a year, and that's longer than any of us really intended.
But we couldn't.
Any thoughts?
We couldn't talk about the superintendent interim to permanent without putting that specific item on the agenda, right? Or does it fall under the DPW?
Well, it
topic?
falls under DP, we don't have, the position is open.
Oh,
So
okay,
we don't
that makes
have,
sense.
we don't have to make a vote to
Right.
say, this is, you know, this needs to happen. I mean, I think if we just say, we are long-term, we're tabling this whole DPW for
Got
now.
it.
We're moving forward. I don't think we even need to take a vote.
Okay,
I don't think. Do you think we need to take a vote? No.
Not at the moment. You mean for going for the hiring, you mean?
Yeah, well. So
tabling
table
the
it. Oh,
discussion of the DPW.
So my point is, the position has been open for a year for
Right.
the highway superintendent, but they're not advertising for it because we were pursuing
Trying to
a
do the
a
bigger-
DPW.
Yeah.
If we choose to
Just table it.
table the DPW and move forward with the hiring of a highway superintendent, Tina does not need a vote from us to put the position out there. It's just, we're saying,
Right.
I don't think we need a vote, do we?
No, the only thing you might want to vote on is just saying, we're going to table this for whatever, however long.
5 years.
Okay, 5 years. You know, but
You're making them too comfortable. I don't think we need to put it, I think we're just, we could say we're,
But I mean, as
Yeah,
long
I
as
know
you're
what you're
pursuing the
saying.
MOU and,
Right.
and
Yeah.
as long as things move in the right direction, I think we're in
Right.
good shape.
yeah.
I think that I think the thing that you want to do is make sure that for the human resources, they know this isn't like, well, I just tabled it for like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Right.
And if I go out now and advertise, I'm going to run afoul. I mean, if you're putting it out for indefinitely for now or whatever, then that kind of says, okay, we can go look for a new person.
No, so would I make a motion that we're tabling this indefinitely and want to move forward with the hiring process for the open
Sure.
position? I don't think I need an agenda item on here saying,
Well, no, because you have that as a.
As a DPW, right.
The status, well, it says update on the status report of the public, well, this is an additional item, it doesn't really,
right,
yeah, I mean, I suppose, I'm not sure whether, it wasn't an action item per se, it was more of a discussion
You're just
item.
giving us an update.
Yeah, so maybe you put it on for
Yeah.
the next meeting, which, by the way, you might have one before the annual, I mean, not the annual,
Yeah,
the
the
special
special
town
town
meeting.
meeting.
Have a quick one.
Next
Right.
week, and then you could just, it would only be a week from now, and then you just have that as an action item
Okay.
or something. you know.
And I would like to see, despite the bureaucracy's way of slowing everything down, is that we target, we have a candidate that we're very happy with, who's been doing the job for close to a year. I would like to see us having a target of having him the full-time director effective January 1st, 2026. And not have this drag on
Well,
for
it's
6
still,
months.
so it would have to be advertised, that's the law. So, but 2 weeks, it just has to be
Yeah.
advertised for 2
And
weeks.
that's why I picked January 1.
Yeah.
I'm giving us 10 weeks.
Yeah,
We ought to
to
be
get it
able to
out,
do
yeah.
something in 10 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, any,
My,
go ahead, Don.
my only 2 cents is I would like to see some form of a memorandum before, only because once this goes through, they're just gonna stop talking to us.
I mean, it's
I think we all know that, so, and that's frustrating, but.
All right,
If that makes sense.
yeah, all right. We do have some meeting minutes to approve. Somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion for the approval of the open session meeting minutes for August 26, 2025, and September 23rd, 2025, as presented.
Second,
All those in favor, Eric, aye?
Kim, I.
Missy, aye.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, aye?
All right, town administrator report, do we have anything?
Yeah, I actually have 2 relatively large pieces tonight, I mean, not large in thing, but big in the first, I've managed to talk to a couple of you in regard to, I've been working in conjunction with the Human Resources to try to find an interim person or persons for the job of the now going out building inspector. The current building inspector, who is part-time, is going to be done at the end of October, and of course, thank you for his filling in. He's been, I guess he's put in his yeoman's work for the last several years, and I know the town appreciates that, but it does leave in an opening that is somewhat, there's some urgency here. So rather than, I won't mention any names yet because nothing is solidified, but we have 2 people, both of whom have some, can do limited hours, but you put the 2 of them together and you might have pretty much most of a whole, okay? You might have 95% of a whole man, okay, out there. One right now is very well known out there around the thing, and another one is actually working for us as we speak. The question that we have at the moment is we're talking with the town council, or at least Tina, the human resource person, is talking to see if we can come up with a very limited, X amount of months, whether it be 2 months, 3 months.
Right.
Some limited amount of time to allow you folks, or the human resources, or whoever, to find somebody to fill the gap with, but still keep the office running as we're speaking. I know that the office is under a lot of pressure down there, and I've been approached by a number of people who are they're hurting, let's say, and I know it's not an easy place to be, and to have nothing is going to be really tough on the town in a lot of ways. So I'll keep you, as I have I'll try to keep you abreast of where we are on this, and then ultimately, of course, it's got to come before you when it's there, and you'll have to do it. This might cost us a little more than what a normal person would be for a short period of time, because it's just the way things are when you're kind of under a pressure situation like this.
Okay.
So I will contact you all on this and try to keep you up to date with it.
We've also posted, though, to fill that.
Yes,
time,
that's
correct?
out there.
Okay.
Yes, that is out there at the moment, and hopefully, I mean, every time I mention things like, oh, maybe we'll get it on, within the next couple of weeks, everybody laughs at me or whatever, but it is what it is. It's a very tough position. In some ways, maybe even harder to find than your town administrator right at the moment. I don't know why, but it is. It's a very tough job to fill, and there's not a lot. The other one that's really hard is the dog officer for most towns, because it isn't a high-paying job. So somebody from the western part of the state ain't going to move out here. You know what I mean? Right. So you're kind of stuck with that. So there's some very tough positions that need. Not that we have an animal control officer, but I mean, it just.
No, we
as
should
an
give them some
example.
credit for doing a
Right.
really great job in a really
Right.
tough environment.
Right, yeah, I mean, the second piece that I'll throw out, that I had a department head meeting this morning, and I think the general consensus in there is the urgency to begin getting a budget going, along with, there's some other critical pieces, like there's going to be some contract negotiations, I believe, that need to be done. And I think what we probably could do, and it's going to be tough to maybe get it for the next meeting, because, the next one is right at your town meeting, and this is, but we may need to get some direction from the board in regard to where do you want to go with percentages and what have you. What do you want to maybe in an executive be negotiating with, and that type of thing. And we probably want to do it sooner rather than later.
I would like to do, for next week, I asked Tricia to put in a meeting for us at 6:30 next week. So the special town meeting starts at 7. What we may want to do is have an executive first at 6:30 and talk. Kate will be there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we can talk with her and tell her, I already have in my head what I think we should do, so I just lay that out in executive, and then we can make a decision. So I would suggest we do it next Tuesday with Kate, and then I will also look at getting this MOU out to water, sewer, highway, police, and fire, for the DPW thing.
Yeah.
Get that out, and then potentially we could have a meeting to discuss that in public as well.
Just for the folks at home, Kate Federoff is the labor council. She's general town council, but also
Right.
the labor council. And just for your edification, I have already spoken to her in my limited capacity, knowing that I could be here a month, 2 months, whatever, who knows. At this point, I felt as though maybe she would sit in on negotiations if it starts, so that if I'm gone, there's going to be somebody out there that
Right.
knows what's going on. You're not calling me long distance to try to figure out what the last meeting happened in the last meeting or something.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So that would be this, and I am looking, the fire chief was good enough to send me a copy, and I was gonna call Heath. I guess there's a capital plan out there, and maybe I can get a copy of that, but it looks like he may have already provided me with it, but maybe I should just check to make sure that I've got the most updated one.
Church and state, I don't know.
Yeah, right, so, okay, all right. So that would be my thing for this week.
Okay. We have our hearing, we can't start till 6 o'clock, so,
Do you want to make a quick announcement that I forgot to make? Do you mind if I make that? while we have
Go
a
ahead.
minute? So the KPD has a haunted house Saturday, October 25th, from 1 to 3 p.m. It's the first annual one, right? Anybody?
That's the first annual KPD open haunted house.
Thank you. I forgot to say that earlier.
We don't have this on here, but I can give an update on the TA recruitment process, right? That's under Selectmen's
As long as
comments.
we don't deliberate it.
We're not deliberating anything, no votes. We did get quite a few candidates, and we had our first meeting today to review the candidates, and we've selected some that we're going to move on to an executive session interviews. So that's good news. And that's about all I can say. Our next regular meeting is town meeting, so we're gonna have our executive and then a public meeting at 6:30. The town meeting actually starts at 7. I think 6:30 is fine, that gives us a half an hour. Do you feel like that's enough time to do a
Did you
quick
say
executive?
executive and public?
Yeah.
Just keeping in mind that we have to get the, for a public meeting, you have to get the Zoom set up, you have to stand in front of the
I know.
computer. It's a little bit different. So just make sure you're giving yourself enough time to do both of those pieces.
So, I mean, arguably, we could hold off for the public until the following Tuesday when we have a regular meeting. I don't think it's that sensitive.
Okay.
We could wait until then. So just do executive on Tuesday. Any objections from anyone here on that?
There was a change to the Article 1 debt exclusion for the school, the amount change.
There was a
Yeah.
change to the Article 1. I'm just repeating it back into the microphone. So there was a change to the Article 1 dollar amount. So it went from,
It increased from 1.2 and change to 1.5 and change.
from 1.2 million to 1.5 million.
So I don't know if I wanted, that was.
Do we need to
You
revote?
might-
Is this a different amount? That's a good question.
Yeah, you might
So we
wanna-
probably do need to have that open meeting, or we could just vote it during town meeting, can't you?
You do it, but then that half hour before.
Or you can do it right on the floor at town meeting, too.
Yeah, I
And
would,
just call for another vote real quick, right before you.
yeah, I would, go ahead.
Hi, sorry, Kathleen Barrett. I mean, whatever the process would be, we found out about, I found out the Thursday after we had, Capital was Monday.
Yep.
BOS Tuesday, FinCom is Wednesday, so the amount changed Thursday. So whatever the process would be to just make all the committees and boards aware of the amount that's changing. However, the
Right.
process is, appropriate. I just wanted to let people know.
Can you, I don't know if you can talk to this or not, if you have the information, but where, the changes, is it because of like ADA type things with the project and something about preparing something with MSBA and having to prepare the roof for solar or something?
That's my understanding. George could probably speak to that better than I can, because that's what he had conveyed to me.
Yeah.
During the Zoom meeting that morning, when they announced it was 1.5, I said, gee, I'm working with 1.2, and they said that was the old number, but there was this solar structuring or something for the roof. It was only until I spoke to Selectman Enberg that I suddenly kind of put two and two together, because apparently you went to a meeting where this is the big push now, and I don't know if you want to.
So I went to
Yeah.
the fiscal summit in Boylston,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the folks that was speaking was, actually, there was a superintendent as well as a finance director, and they talked about how some towns are choosing to build their own schools and replace their own roofs without using MSBA at all, because it's ending up costing them more to use the grant program, I put it in quotes, to do it the way the state wants them to, as opposed to doing it the way they wanted to. So some communities are building their own schools, their own roof replacements because of that. They can expand what they want to be the way they want it. So it doesn't shock me to hear that, because there was a discussion about how they've been adding this solar cost to this.
Yeah.
And just as a reminder, we're getting 53% reimbursement.
Of the 1.5, so.
Right.
Call it about 700
But we don't
and
have a
some odd
quote
thousand.
to compare it to. So we don't know what we would have done for a
I
roof
know,
replacement
I know.
had we been totally in charge of it. So it's
Right.
sort of hard to know. So would we have to pay, so it's what, so we're
think
saying it's a
we're-
$3 million roof, or we're saying it's a 1.5 million?
It's a
and we would-
1.55.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
And that's just a portion of the roof. There's still other parts
Yes,
of the
if
roof
you
that
do
need to
the-
be done the following year when we qualify
Right.
for the MSBA reimbursement. So we cut it, the project was originally bigger. It was cut back because of changes to the requirements. So the project was cut down because the entire portion of the roof was not old enough. So,
But then it could very well mean, as the selectman just said, that it might be 3 million, because if it's half a roof,
I know.
and, you know, so
Right.
later on, it'll be another
well,
1.5.
I think that's important. I think that's something that we're gonna need to do as we go into the next phase of the roof repair, do two projects, one on our own and one with MSBA, and look at the price. Yeah, look at which is cheaper. You know, I mean, still coming out of, it's still our money that's coming from the state, so,
wealth transfer.
right, okay. We got about 2 more minutes. Any other questions?
Yeah, one item I'd like to go back to George's comment concerning the budget.
Yep,
You know, our bylaw says that we have to have the so-called Budget Advisory Committee meeting by November
I think we
1st.
did that, didn't we, with finance committee and school committee?
we did.
Oh, maybe
You might
That
have
was,
it
that
might have
was,
been when
that was the
you were
joint
out.
meeting,
okay.
yeah.
It's a little bit different than it used to be, where
Right.
it used to be just the chairman, and now it's the whole three
Yeah,
groups.
Yeah, but I don't know what the next step is.
So did we give advice to come up with advice as to what percentages we're looking for, increases, that type of thing?
If I'm remembering correctly, I believe we said we were looking at probably having to build multiple budgets this year.
Yeah.
Because we were going to have to build something that is
Oh,
what we
oh, that-
need.
That meeting that I was at.
Yeah.
We considered that
Mm-hmm.
taking the place or being this
Yeah.
Budget Advisory Board meeting.
Well, based on the
Because
bylaw, that's what
so
it is.
remember, the schools didn't have their real numbers, so it was
Right.
so we kind of halted that meeting.
So if we need
Because
to have,
Keith was like, our budget is pointless at this point
Yeah.
then.
So I was delinquent in not shouting and hollering that we do not want to see anything above 3%, period.
I think you might have said that, actually.
I think you did.
I think you might have said that. But realistically, I think what we ended up saying is, look, if we're going to have to explain to people, this is what it looks like, this
Yeah.
is how much it costs if we keep things the same, right? These are the same number of
Right.
staff, the same number of whatever it is, services that you have, and this is how much it costs, and we have to increase taxes if that's what you want. If you don't want to increase taxes above this number, we have to make some cuts. So we're gonna have to provide some guidance on where we want those cuts to be. And I think that's
Right.
sort of the,
Yeah,
the
I think
general
I remember
discussion.
us suggesting they come up with 3, right?
Yep,
And I think schools,
all
I
right.
think that's a hard ask for them right now, but it was the ask.
But if we don't start with a
I
hard
know.
ask,
I know,
we
Right.
don't go anywhere.
right.
All right, we are now at 6 o'clock, so we can go back in time.
Before you start, in case someone watches our meetings on a regular basis and just turned on their TV, we started at 5 o'clock for a dangerous dog hearing that was canceled.
Right.
And we went through the rest of our agenda, pretty snappy, and now we're at pretty much the last thing.
Right.
So I just wanted to mention that, just in case someone happens to turn on their TV now and says, what is happening?
30-second.
I don't know if we have
Right.
people who watch our meetings, but in case we do.
All right, so the 6 PM, we have a public hearing for transfer of an alcohol license from Pisano's Restaurant, Inc. to River House Hospitality LLC, doing business as Duke's River House. So we received a request. The application was sent to all appropriate department heads, and they've all responded with approval. There's a memo from the police chief in our board materials. But in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, a public hearing will be held on Tuesday, October 21st, 2025, at 6 p.m. in room 200 at the Townhouse, 26 Evergreen Street, Kingston, Mass., on the transfer of retail on-premise liquor license from Pisano's Restaurant, Inc. to River House Hospitality, LLC, doing business as Duke's River House, Stephen F. Barrett, owner-manager. Said license is located at 6 Pembroke Street, Kingston, Mass., and a copy of the application is available for viewing in the Selectmen's office. Does someone someone want to make a motion to open the public hearing?
I move the Board of Selectmen open the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor? Eric, aye.
Kim, aye.
Missy, I.
Ooh,
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, aye.
All right.
I don't know why.
It bounced right back at you.
ooh, yikes.
Okay, so do we have anybody?
I don't see them. Am I missing the memo? I don't see the memo, but maybe I'm just not. Didn't you say a memo from the chief is in the packet? Didn't you say that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I just didn't see one. Did you have concerns? No, okay, then maybe it was just a, okay. I thought maybe I was just looking in the wrong place. No worries. I just, if he has concerns, I want to know what they are.
All right,
Before we do anything. No.
Do we have anybody from the business who's here?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Are there any questions?
No, I didn't get any emails either with any concerns from
No.
residents or folks who couldn't come to the meeting. I don't see it, but I will.
I thought I saw an email saying I had no issues.
We
I thought I saw this here somewhere from the chief.
It's okay.
Town clerk. Building department. Yeah, I'm missing the one in here from the chief.
I can explain real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can be slipshod once in a while with attaching files, and Mrs. Tucker is very good at staying on me. But what I do with the new alcohol license or a transfer or anything like that is I just put a memo on there to show that I've done due diligence, so open source search. ABCC doesn't currently have a portal for any of their records that are housed. I don't have any concerns about this application, but the reason that I would send a memo for an alcohol license is the increased liability on the town, just to show that on your behalf, I do a background check. So no
Okay.
offense on this one.
Thank
Okay.
you. Appreciate that. I just want to know what it said, so, thank you.
Yeah, no, that helps. All right, any questions at all?
I move the Board of Selectmen close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor? Eric, aye.
Kim, aye.
Missy, I.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, aye.
All right, would anybody like to make a motion?
I'm not gonna talk, I don't know what's going on with mine. Somebody else.
It's because Don is coming on you.
Yeah, I think he-
As you were talking,
Got it.
so he just, it's echoing from his computer onto his microphone.
All right, does anybody want to make a
I
motion?
move the Board of Selectmen approve the transfer of alcoholic license 07953-RS-0568 from Paisano's Restaurant, Inc. to River House Hospitality, LLC, doing business as Duke's River House, located at 6 Pembroke Street, Kingston.
Good.
Second.
All those in favor? Eric, aye.
Kim, aye.
Missy, I.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, aye.
All right, that's unanimous. We are at the end. We've already talked about our meetings. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I thought it was a public hearing,
For what? For what?
the liquor license.
We just did it.
We opened it for comment.
We just did it, and I asked if there was anybody who wanted to speak.
Okay, no problem.
Did you have something you wanted to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, did I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn at 6:05.
All right,
Second.
all right, all those in favor, Eric, aye?
Kim, I.
Missy, aye.
Kyle Pike, aye.
Don, aye.
All right, we will see you next time.
Town meeting, 7 PM, 10:28.